You're probably wondering in 2023, what is the best way to buy a car? Is it buying it full on cash, financing it, or leasing it? I feel like I'm one of the most credible people to talk about this subject because I used to be a car broker. I would help my clients make the best decision to pick whether they need to buy a car, finance, or lease. So I feel like I'm one of the most educated and unbiased people to talk about this subject. Not only do I have real numbers on cars in today's market, by the end of today's video, you're gonna know what's the best way to do it. Finance, lease, or buy. Let's get right into it. I used to be a car broker. For the ones that don't know what a car broker is, and if you're new, I would help my clients get any new car that they want, and I would educate them to helping them make the best decision whether they want to buy, finance, or lease a car. So basically, long story short, clients call me, I get them any new car that they want, deliver the car, brand new car to their home with paperwork and keys without the client ever having to visit a dealership and talk to a salesman. Not only was I able to get them a better deal, I give them a better experience because they're saving time and hassle. But I don't do that anymore. I just wanted to explain that to you. If you did want to get connected to a car broker, there's an email in the description below. Before we do a finance versus lease on a real car with real numbers, let's talk about you purchasing a car full on cash. A lot of people say, yo, that's the best way to do it. You're buying a car full on cash. You don't have to pay monthly payments. There's no interest. You own it outright. Now, a car is a depreciating asset. For a lot of you guys know, maybe some of you don't. It loses about 30, 40% of its value within the first 3, 4, 5 years. Let's just use a Mercedes, for example. You buy a $50,000 Mercedes. You pay full on cash for it. You don't have to worry about monthly payments. You're good to go. You own it outright. In 3, 4, 5 years, that $50,000 car is gonna be worth maybe $35,000, low 30s, maybe high 20s. I always believe paying the bare minimum is the best way to go about anything, because you paid $50,000 for a car on a depreciating asset. It would have been better if you put a minimum down payment on that car, paid a minimum monthly payments, and had $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 left over where you can invest that money into appreciating assets, like some real estate, this project, that project, and that would have eventually paid for the car itself. But the thing is, a lot of people don't think about that. They think about, oh, let me just pay $50,000 for a car full on cash and I'm good to go. But you need to keep as much money as you can to invest in other opportunities. Unless you got FU money, sure, go ahead, buy it. But if you're like the majority of the world, you need as much money as possible to invest in other things so your money can grow and compound. So now let's get into a finance versus a lease, okay? And before we get into that, I just want to let everybody know that we are building a community of successful entrepreneurs where we all get to learn from each other, talk to each other. We have guest speakers and live calls religiously. So if you're all about leveling up your life, you might find your next career opportunity here. It's only $9.99. Click the link in the description below. Check it out. Remember, your network is your net worth. Now let's talk about this finance versus lease. This is on a real car. These are real numbers, and you're gonna be quite surprised of what's better. What do you think before I get into this? Comment below. I hit my connect up for real numbers on a 2023 BMW 228i, finance versus lease, okay? So let's start with financing, okay? MSRP, $45,000, give or take. $2,000 down. Let's figure 72-month term, which is 6 years, 6.9 interest rate, competitive in the state of today's market. Payment is about $812 per month. So think about that monthly payment for now. Now let's talk about the lease numbers on the same car. Same price, $45,000, a $2,000 drive off, which is your down payment. Let's figure a 0.00229 for the money factor, which is the interest rate. Your monthly payments are $762 a month. So the first thing we want to compare is there's a slightly lower monthly payment with leasing this car versus buy. There's a $50 difference in monthly payment, okay? Now this is where things get interesting. I did an analysis, a comparison of what the car will be worth in 3 years. What is the value? What is the payoff? If you were financing this car, after 3 years, the payoff will be around $26,176. For the lease, after 3 years, car will be valued and the payoff will be $24,983. You see what's going on here? You leasing the car means you have a lower payoff after 3 years versus financing the car. Now you're probably like, damn, I never knew that. Now with everything going on around the world, especially California, with the recession, the market collapsing, electric cars coming in, inflation
in the United States has hit 4 decades high. When Dory spied for residents, lower income households face the worst.
All the above. A lease protects you on that exact value in that payoff after 3 years, because you're guaranteed to get out of the car after 3 years. If you were to finance the car in 3 years, your payoff isn't guaranteed. You may be stuck with that car and you might be in a worse situation. So if the market collapses, you're protected in a lease versus a finance. And another thing to also mention is that leases are actually more competitive than it is nowadays. Now, I know the monthly payment was only a $50 difference. It's because of the market. There's not enough cars to be sold. Instead of 200 cars being sold every month at one dealership, there was only 40 cars available. And you can't even order cars anymore. Leases will get competitive again. Your monthly payments can be $200, $300, $400, $500 lower versus a buy. If you're the type of person that wants a new car every 3 years and you're smart with your money, you pay a lower monthly payment, and you're probably gonna pay lower when the market neutralizes again, $300, $400, $500 lower, because that's where payments are supposed to really be. For example, my last M4, I leased it. If I were to finance this car, payments would have been $1,700, but I leased it and my payments were $900. People don't understand that on a lease, you could put wheels on it, you could tint the windows, you could put a damn body kit. I put a stage 1 tune on it. And the beauty about a lease is that before the end of the term or during the term, you can sell the car back to the dealership anytime you want. You could buy the car anytime that you want. The more money you could keep in your pocket to invest in other things, I always feel like it's the most smartest thing to do. So that's how you gotta look at it when you're financing or leasing the car. How much money can you keep? Does it make sense for the long term? Most people don't keep their cars that long. 5, 6 years, you want a new car, right? So why not hop on a lease? Yeah, there's a mile restriction. You could do 12,000 miles per year, 15,000 miles per year. There's a lot of people in this world that are driving less and less nowadays. Everything's done online. Ever since COVID happened, everybody's working from home. So put it together. I hope you guys make the best decision for yourself, whether you want to buy a car. Don't buy full on cash, finance or lease. I'm not a doctor, but I recommend a lease. Just some quick tips when you're trying to buy a car, try to find yourself a good car broker. A middleman that has his connects to dealerships and you don't have to worry about talking to a salesman. It saves you a lot of hassle, time, and trouble. As we all know, cars are marked up like crazy nowadays, over MSRP, over sticker. I'm talking $5,000, $10,000 over sticker. And they take you to the finance guy in the back room and he starts telling you like, yo, you gotta buy this, that, boom, boom. And there's no way around it. That's what a car broker saves you from, is all the BS done in the finance room. You go to the dealership and the salesman tells you, yo, your monthly payments are gonna be this. It's gonna be $300 a month. So then you go in the back room with the finance guy and all of a sudden your payments go from $300 to $400, $450 a month because you have to buy all this extra junk, paint protection, gap insurance, enhanced security systems, extended maintenance programs, extended warranty, things of that nature. It's like, you don't need that. I hope I gave you all the information you guys need to figure out whether you want to buy, purchase, or lease a car. Thank you for watching today's video. Like it if you're new, subscribe. If you want to join that community of successful entrepreneurs that I am building, where we all get to learn from each other, talk to each other. We have guest speakers, live calls religiously. If you're all about leveling up your life, click that link in the description below. And remember guys, when you want something in this life, don't you ever hesitate. Tomorrow and yesterday doesn't exist. Focus on the now. Don't wait for the opportunity, create the opportunity. No hesitate.
Look what you had done. Playing with my feelings got me thinking you the one. I swear you're doing all of this just to have some fun. When I saw those raps, I should've did that and just run. Yeah, look what you have done. Breaking girls' hearts down, look what I become.